wa sahlan and welcome. My name is Dave Serio and I'm the Curator of Education here at the Arab American National Museum, which is the first and only museum of its kind in the entire country that's dedicated to telling the story of Arab Americans. So here we are in front of our exhibit, Coming to America, which focuses on Arab immigration to the United States from the 22 countries that make up the Arab world, 10 in Northern Africa and 12 in Southwestern Asia. At the museum, we highlight push and pull factors. So this idea of pull factors, right? What does that mean to you guys? Pull factors can be jobs and economics and school and adventure. And there's not one right answer, but there's lots of different reasons. Push factors are things that push you out of your country. So it might be things like war and political conflict. It might be not having enough food or water. So we're going to take a look at our 4 different time periods of Arab immigration. Our first time period of Arab immigration is really from the 1880s until about the early 1920s. And it's primarily made up of single Christian men from Lebanon and Syria. Now, it's not only single Christian men. You do have different religions that are coming. You do have folks coming from different parts of the Arab world. You also have women that are coming in larger numbers, but the primary group of folks coming are mostly single Christian men from Lebanon and Syria. You have folks that are coming through Ellis Island in New York. You have folks that are coming up through Central and South America, which is a little bit different of a story than Ellis Island. So you have, again, a lot of different experiences that Arab immigrants have. So here we are in our second time period of Arab immigration, which takes place from the mid-1920s up until about the mid-1960s. During this time period, there's really 3 major groups that are immigrating and coming to the United States. The first group is Palestinian refugees. So due to the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, many Palestinians are forcibly removed from their homes. And several thousand families come to the US during this time period. The other group coming over are folks known as the brain drain period, right? So think about that term. What does brain drain mean to you? What kind of folks might be coming as part of the brain drain movement? If you're thinking very highly educated folks, you are correct. So it's mostly very educated individuals. So scientists, doctors, researchers, engineers, folks that can basically contribute to American society, at least professionally. During the second time period, you also see differences from the first time period. You see more equal numbers in terms of gender, in terms of religion, and from different parts of the Arab world, not just Lebanese and Syrians. And the third group we talk about is Yemenis that are coming over to the US in general, but also to Michigan specifically. So a lot of the Yemenis who were working on ships and in the shipping industry back in Yemen are coming to Michigan to work along the Great Lakes. So we transition into our third time period of Arab immigration, which is from the mid-1960s up until about the 1990s. During this third time period, this is really when we start to see larger numbers of Arabs coming over to the United States, specifically here in Michigan. So this is really where Metro Detroit, Dearborn, all these areas really start to get its Arab flavor. So here we are in our 4th time period of Arab immigration, which is from the 90s up until present day. Most of the reasons folks are coming during this time period, even though again you have folks that are coming for education and for jobs, but you also have folks coming for war and things like that also. A lot of the reasons folks come over have a lot to do with US intervention either directly or indirectly in some of these countries. A really interesting example of that is the Gulf War in Iraq in the early 90s and also the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, which causes many Iraqis to flee their home for, again, unstable conditions, bad economics, and of course, war. So we've talked about 4 distinct time periods in which Arabs are immigrating to the United States. But it's important to talk about kind of where they are and where they live today. So if you look at our Arab American settlement map, you'll notice that the populations that have large numbers are in kind of like a darker brown, darker red. So looking at this map, what state would you say has the biggest population of Arab Americans? If you're thinking it's California, you are correct. So California is home to the largest population of Arab Americans in the country. Michigan, however, has the largest concentration of Arab Americans, the largest number of Arab Americans in a very specific population, not really spread throughout the state. And think about that. Why would so many Arab Americans want to come to Michigan? Well, one of the major reasons is because of the auto industry, right? A lot of Arabs came to work in the auto industry. It was a decent paying job back in the day. And then once you have kind of that initial community, you go where you have family members or friends that can maybe get you a decent paying job, maybe teach you English. You might be able to find restaurants and bakeries and religious institutions that are connected to you in some way. Specifically in Dearborn, which has a huge population of Arab Americans and is also where the Arab American National Museum resides. So I hope that you'll visit us in person, or you can visit the museum's website at arabamericanmuseum.org for a lot more information on Arab immigration.
This program was made possible by a grant from CTN, the Community Telecommunications Network.